The Young and the Restless spoilers next to week September 15th to September 26, 2025. To be nothing short of explosive, as secrets, confrontations, and tangled loyalties converge in Genoa City. The latest previews hint at a storm of emotions and power plays that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. Jack Abbott is set to deliver a chilling warning to Nikki Newman. Kane Ashby intensifies his pursuit of Lily Winters despite her resistance. Mariah Copeland corners Daniel Romalotti Jr. In a confrontation about Tessa Porter, Devin Hamilton Winters continues to push his sister Lily to finally break free of her past. And Amanda Sinclair finds herself pulled into Kane's ever-deepening schemes as his confidant. These threads together form a tapestry of intrigue that reflects everything viewers love about Genoa City: family drama, romantic entanglements, and the relentless clash between past mistakes and future ambitions. The most shocking moment teased for the week ahead is Jack Abbott's warning to Nikki Newman. For decades, Jack and Nikki have shared a complicated history, built on mutual respect, occasional affection, and the unshakable reality that their lives are tied to two of Genoa City's most powerful families. For Jack to approach Nikki with a warning now suggests a matter of serious gravity. The target of that warning? None other than Kane Ashby. Jack sees what Kane is trying to dousing charm, persistence, and his newly cultivated power to worm his way back into Lily's life. Jack's concern is not only for Lily but for the ripple effects such a rekindling could have on the fragile balance between the Winters, the Ashbys, and even the Newmans. Nikki, who knows all too well the devastation that comes from letting past lovers dictate the present, is uniquely positioned to understand Jack's point. But whether she takes his words as a sincere caution or as a veiled threat remains to be seen. Jack's tone, after all, carries both menace and care, leaving Nikki and the audience to question what his true motives are. Meanwhile, Kane Ashby continues to push forward with his relentless pursuit of Lily Winters. His return to Genoa City has been marked not just by business maneuvers and alliances but by a personal mission to prove to Lily that they still have a future. Lily, however, has been steadfast in her insistence that the past is over, repeating the refrain that they will never reunite no matter how much Kane insists otherwise. Yet Kane is undeterred. To him, Lily's protests are merely barriers to be broken down, challenges to be overcome, not the final word. He presents himself as a changed man, someone more powerful, more focused, more worthy of her love. The tragedy, of course, is that Kane may believe this narrative even as Lily's heart remains torn between lingering memories of what once was and the hard-earned independence she has cultivated since their split. Kane's seduction is not purely physical or romantic, it is psychological, emotional, a constant reminder of a bond that once defined her life. Whether Lily will continue to resist or whether she will falter under the pressure is the question fans will be asking all week. As Kane weaves his way closer to Lily, Devin Hamilton Winters finds his patience wearing thin. Devin has no illusions about Kane's flaws or the pain he has caused. His loyalty is to his sister, and he sees with brutal clarity how Kane's presence drags Lily back into a past she insists she has moved beyond. Devin's frustration builds as he watches her wrestle with emotions she cannot fully banish. His advice is sharp, perhaps harsher than Lily wants to hear. It is time to let go once and for all, to stop dancing with the ghost of her ex-husband, and to embrace a new chapter without him. But the question remains, is Devin speaking only of Lily's emotional healing, or is he hinting at the possibility of her finding love again with someone entirely new? His words leave Lily unsettled, because while she knows her brother is right to want the best for her, part of her is not yet ready to close the door on Kane. Devin's disdain for Kane is clear, has never been a fan, and now that Kane has returned claiming newfound strength, Devin is even more determined to protect his sister from being ensnared in his web again. Yet whether Devin's voice of reason will prevail or whether Lily's conflicted heart will betray her is one of the great tensions of the week ahead. Elsewhere in Genoa City, Mariah Copeland takes center stage in her own emotional confrontation. She approaches Daniel Romalotti Jr. with urgency, demanding answers about Tessa Porter and what he knows of her wife's growing suspicions and frustrations. Tessa, already strained by Mariah's hidden struggles with mental health and her sense of distance in their marriage, has begun to feel isolated, and Mariah cannot ignore the consequences. Her meeting with Daniel, once secretive and fraught with questions about hidden agendas, now transforms into an open confrontation. Mariah wants clarity, she wants assurance, and perhaps most of all, she wants Daniel to admit his role in whatever confusion Tessa is feeling. The dynamic between them is tense. Daniel, torn between loyalty and honesty, struggles to navigate Mariah's direct questioning, while Mariah, her emotions running high, pushes him to give her what she needs even if the truth is uncomfortable. Their clash underscores the fragility of her relationship with Tessa, and raises fears that the family she has built with Tessa and their daughter Arya could fracture under the weight of secrecy and mistrust. Meanwhile, Kane reveals yet another dimension of his strategy by confiding in Amanda Sinclair. More than just his attorney, Amanda has become his sounding board, the one person he allows into the labyrinth of his mind. To her, he outlines his new agenda, carefully testing how much he can reveal and how far he can push her before she resists. Amanda, with her sharp intelligence and unwavering moral compass, listens with a measured patience, analyzing not only his words but his motives. She has come to respect Kane's business savvy, but she is no fool. She knows he is capable of deception, of half-truths and manipulations designed to cloak his real objectives. The question is whether Amanda will sign off on his plans or whether she will draw a line, warning him that his ambitions may lead not to triumph but to ruin. Her role as his confidant places her in a precarious position. If she supports him, she risks being complicit in whatever schemes he pursues. If she rejects him, she risks severing a professional and personal bond that has given her influence in ways she rarely allows herself to admit. Taken together, these storylines weave a week of tension, heartache, and high stakes for Genoa City. Jack's warning to Nikki threatens to ignite a new conflict between the Abbotts and the Newmans. Kane's relentless pursuit of Lily challenges her resolve and Devon's patience. Mariah's confrontation with Daniel threatens to destabilize her marriage to Tessa. And Kane's confessions to Amanda could either solidify a dangerous alliance or mark the beginning of their estrangement. Each storyline reflects the central truth of the young and the restless. In this city, no one is ever truly free of their past. Every decision carries consequences. And love is as much a battlefield as business. Fans tuning in next week can expect tears, confrontations, and choices that will reverberate long after the credits roll. Will Lily finally cut Kane out of her life, or will his persistence break through her defenses? Will Devon succeed in steering his sister toward a fresh start, or will he be forced to watch her repeat old mistakes? Will Mariah's confrontation with Daniel bring clarity or chaos to her marriage with Tessa? And will Amanda prove to be Kane's guiding light or the last barrier standing between him and self-destructs? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the drama in Genoa City is only just beginning. The week begins in Genoa City with one of the most unlikely ceasefires in recent memory, as Michael Baldwin finally extends an olive branch to Phyllis Summers. For months, tension has simmered between the two, fueled by years of mistrust, disappointments, and the endless tug-of-war between loyalty and self-preservation. Michael has long wanted to set things straight with the fiery red, but Phyllis, true to her nature, has resisted. Wary of being hurt once again by a man who has too often chosen principle over friendship when it mattered most. Yet now, in a twist that only the young and the restless could deliver, Phyllis may be forced to reconsider her stance. The Catalyst. Michael's new role in Genoa City's shifting power landscape. He is now working for Kane Ashby. At first glance, Michael's reconciliation attempt seems pragmatic, even opportunistic. He wants to make amends with Phyllis not simply for personal closure, but because it suits his new position. As Kane's newly anointed fixer, Michael must mend fences, smooth rough edges, and consolidate alliances for his enigmatic employer. If Phyllis is to be useful to Kane's larger agenda, then Michael needs her on board or at least no longer actively hostile. But beneath the surface lies an even more explosive truth. Michael is not just working for Kane, he is secretly operating as an informant for Victor Newman. This double role places him squarely in the crosshairs of danger, as he juggles the impossible task of serving two masters, one a powerful manipulator whose schemes grow bolder by the day, the other a titan whose wrath is legendary when betrayed. For Phyllis, the truce is disorienting. Part of her has longed for Michael's support, and the thought of him finally choosing her side is intoxicating. Yet another part of her, sharpened by years of betrayal, remains deeply suspicious. She knows Michael too well to believe he has suddenly shed his tendency to withhold truths. Her instincts, honed by years of navigating Genoa City's treacherous waters, tell her that there is more to his sudden warmth than meets the eye. When the truth eventually comes out, Michael's reconciliation was not born of pure friendship but was entangled with Kane's agenda, and Victor's counterplot fallout will be devastating. Phyllis, who has always demanded loyalty above all else, will view his duplicity as yet another in a long line of personal betrayals, one that could sever their relationship beyond repair. And Kane, realizing that his so-called fixer was secretly reporting to Victor all along, may unleash a fury that even Michael cannot talk his way out of. The collision course is set, and viewers can only wait to see who emerges from the wreckage. While Michael and Phyllis dance around fragile truces and hidden truths and other storyline unfurls with heartbreaking intimacy, Mariah Copeland, unable to shake her insecurities and desperate for clarity, arranges a secret meeting with Daniel Romalodigger. One she deliberately hides from her wife, Tessa Porter. The secrecy alone is a betrayal, but Mariah convinces herself that the confrontation is necessary, that she must hear Daniel's truths directly before she can face her own demons. When the two meet, the air between them crackles with tension. Mariah's voice trembles with a mixture of fear and anger as she demands answers about Daniel's true feelings for Tessa. Is there still a spark between them? Is Tessa's heart divided in ways she cannot admit? The questions spill out not just as accusations, but as confessions of Mariah's deepest insecurities. Daniel, caught off guard, struggles to navigate the confrontation. His history with Tessa is complicated, layered with affection, respect, and the kind of lingering familiarity that can haunt even the most resolved of relationships. For Mariah, every pause, every hesitation in his answers feels like confirmation of her worst fears. Her mind begins to spiral, entertaining the possibility that perhaps Tessa would indeed be better off with Daniel than with her. The thought cuts deep, tearing at the foundation of the family she has built with Tessa and their daughter Arya. The preview teases tears, raised voices, and a raw vulnerability that will leave fans aching for resolution. Will Mariah's doubts drive a wedge between her and Tessa, or will the confrontation force her to face the root of her insecurities and finally begin to heal? Elsewhere in Genoa City, a lighter but no less impactful storyline develops as Lauren Fenmore Baldwin prepares a threefold surprise for Christine Blair. Known for her flair for the dramatic and her ability to make even the simplest gesture feel grand, Lauren's surprise is rumored to be dazzling, layered, and deeply personal. Christine, who has weathered her share of courtroom battles and personal trials, may find herself momentarily swept away by the unexpected gesture. For fans, the anticipation lies in discovering whether Lauren's surprise is purely celebratory or if it carries an undertone of challenge. A subtle reminder of their complicated history and the bonds that tie them together. In Genoa City, even joy comes with sharp edges, and a triple surprise may mean triple the fallout once the dust settles. Taken together, the week ahead promises a potent mix of suspense, heartbreak, and intrigue. Michael's truce with Phyllis is laced with deception, Mariah's confrontation with Daniel threatens to unravel her marriage to Tessa, and Lauren's surprise for Christine adds a flourish of spectacle to a city already brimming with tension. At the center of it all looms Kane Ashby, whose shadow stretches across every storyline, whether through Michael's divided loyalties, Phyllis's fragile trust, or Amanda's uneasy role as his confidant. And in the distance, Victor Newman watches, pulling strings that will eventually entangle them all. The questions left hanging are as tantalizing as they are devastating. How long can Michael juggle his dual allegiances before the truth explodes? How deep will Phyllis's rage cut when she learns she has been manipulated once again? Will Mariah's doubts destroy her marriage, or will Tessa's love prove stronger than suspicion? And what will Kane do when he discovers that the man he brought into his circle was secretly undermining him from the start? Genoa City has never been a town for the faint of heart, and as this new week dawns, fans are reminded once again that on the young and the restless, the line between love and betrayal is always perilously thin.